Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial video, and we'll be looking at the HackTheBox machine called Irked. And for the requirement for this box was to do a full nmap scan. So what I did was to nmap using -b, so -b in order to scan all ports on this machine and then the IP address. So this scan might actually take a while. So what I did was to I've done this initially and save the file to the scan to a file called scan. And here we can see we've got SSH on port 22, HTTP on port 80, RPC bind on 111, and some other TCP ports and other couple of unknown services. So web applications are always interesting. So I had a first look at that one. So 10.10.10.117, and we presented with a web page to just say RC not working there, which might suggest a hint. So the view says page source and nothing interesting apart from this image here. So IRC is known to be vulnerable. I think there's a Metasploit exploit that actually targets IRC. And also looking from here might be a hint indicating IRC. So let's have a look at IRC exploits. IRC exploits. And there is a CV 2010 with the command backdoor execution. All right, so IRC. So we might have a look at this and see what we get. So MSFDB, click on run. Apologies if you're hearing any background noise, just the way it is. Anyway, so we start the MSF or the Metasploit framework database, and also that automatically starts the console using MSFDB run. And I'm just going to copy this straight away and say use this exploit. Okay, if config it's on 0. So this is my IP address. I'll just copy that for good measure. Let's have a look at the options for this. So we need to set R host, and you can see the R port here is 6667. But from our scan, let's go back to CD8TB and CD Irked cat scan. We've got 6697. So I think that's one thing we might need to change. So set our port to 6697. Set our hosts to 10.10.10.117 and exploit. So you can see you got HTTP notice authentication, looking up the host name, sending the backdoor command, and appears we got a session. So you do ID. Yes, we got a user. We got a remote shell onto the box. PWD, home RC Unreal. So let's have a look if Python is installed. So which Python? Yeah, we've got Python there. So we could drop into a proper shell. Import pty -spawn bin bash. Yeah, there we go. So we can be clear screen, no. So term environment not set, so we might just do export term equal screen. Can we clear screen now? Yeah, we can. So list, pwd. I think we're actually in this Unreal 3.2 folder or directory. So let's go backwards, list, And in the home folder appears we've got another user, DJ Madov, I think. So we could do, let's see if we can read the etc password file. Yes, so there's another user here that's got his directory. So let's see if we could get into that directory. List. If you notice, we're not able to, in the directory of RRCD, we're not able to find the user flag. So in here, all I did was to go to Documents and List, and you can see we can find the user txt here. But if we do a long list, you can see only the user DJ Madov can actually read this file. However, there's another file here called backup, which gives every person read access. So cat.backup, see what's in that file. And you got some details saying super elite steg backup password, I believe, and probably a password. So we could just copy this password, and it appears this is some sort of steganography challenge. So we're probably using this password to decrypt steg password. So my first thought, well, probably this image here could have some hidden data. So save image, go to home, ATB, and Irked. Save the image there. So let's have a list of that, and we can see the image. So we could do stegguide, think info, and then, so if we do stegguide and do the help command, let's have a look at the help command. So SF is the stego file, and so we could do stegguide info dash dash or dash SF and irked.jpg unknown stego file, I believe. No, let's have a look at the help file again. I think SF was the stego file, wasn't it? Yeah, SF file name. Okay, so let's clear screen and do that again. So stegguide, I think we could use the extract dash SF irked, access us for a password, put in the password, paste, and wrote extracted data to pass.txt. So list, and then we could cut pass.txt. So this might be a password, and my guess was this might be the password for the DJ Madov user. So all we could do is we could SSH DJ Madov, I believe. Let's have a look at that user. Say DJ Madov at 10.10.10.117. Copy this password. And we logged in. So list, cd documents, list, and wc-c user.txt, and then we've got a user flag. Now, for privilege escalation, what I did in this scenario was to do Linux privilege escalation, And there's some very good resource which I like by Payatu, I think. And I was look for how to look for SUID bits on the box. So we use this exploiting vulnerable SUID programs. So we copy this command, this find command, and we execute that here. All right, so after looking through this, I think I found one that was a bit weird called user bin viewer. So we do a list on that binary, I think. And you can see the SUID is set, it's owned by root, and anyone can actually execute this file. So it means, let's see what this file does. And executing this file, it says it says this application has been developed to set and test user permissions. It is still being actively developed. So I think it runs to find out which users are actually logged in, and we find DJ Madov logged in. However, you can see it says here that temporary lizard users not found. So it tries to run a file in the temporary directory called list users. So let's see if we go into this directory list. You can see there's nothing there. So the idea is this file actually, once executed, looks for a file called temp directory called list users. So what I did here was to locate. I think I've got an exploit which is an SUID binary. I think I've used it in one of the previous boxes. So let's cut that file, paste, and an SUID binary. So this binary here, copy that, and go into the users temporary directory. So let's see if we've got which GCC. Yeah, GCC installed. So I do a nano list users.c. Copy this in. Okay, and use GCC list users.c output file list users. That looks fine. Yeah, and then we make the file executable, list users. And then when we try to run this again, we should get a root shell. So paste that in, execute with root. All right. So this executed the binary. So we can then get the flag, see the roots, list. You can actually see you've got the pass.txt here as well. So cat pass.txt is the same password here. So I think it's possible not actually getting this user, not not doing the steganography we did before. So you can actually get root user from the RCD user initially, and then get this password to to SSH in as DJ Madoff. Anyway, we've done it the other way, and then we could just see the contents of the root flag. And there we go. So 33 MD5 characters, so 32 and then line space. So I hope this this was is a simple box, well, not that quite simple because you got steganography, which kind of tongue twisting, but kind of tricky, and also how to find the SUID binary and taking advantage of that to leverage privilege escalation. So I hope that was helpful, and thanks for watching.